to sing a song that old was sung. From ashes, ancient Gower is come, assuming man's infirmities to glad your ear and please your eyes. It hath been sung at festivals, on ember eves and holy ales, and lords and ladies in their lives have read it for restoratives. The purchase is to make men glorious. Pro bonum antiquus eo melius est. The older a good thing is, the better. If you, born in these latter times, when wit's more ripe, accept my rhymes, and that to hear this man sing may to your wishes pleasure bring, I life would wish, and that I might waste it for you, like taper light. This Antioch then. Antiochus the Great built up this city for his chiefest seat, the fairest in all Syria. And this king took unto him a wife so fair, who died and left a female heir, so buxom, blithe, and full of face, as heaven hath lent her all his grace, with whom the father liking took, and her to incest did provoke. Bad child, worse father, to entice his own to evil should be done by none. But custom what they did begin was with long use accounted no sin. And the beauty of this sinful dame made many princes thither frame to seek her as a bedfellow in marriage pleasures, playfellow, which to prevent, the king made a law to keep her still, and men in awe, that whoso asked her to be his wife, their riddle solved not, lost his life. So for her, many a man did die, as yon grim looks do testify. What now ensues, to the judgment of your eye I give my cause. You best can justify.
Pericles! You have at large received danger of the task you undertake.
I have, Antiochus, and with a soul emboldened with the glory of her praise, think death no hazard in this enterprise.
Music! Here is our daughter, clothed like a bride.
You gods, that made me man and sway in love, that have inflamed desire in my breast to taste the fruit of yon celestial tree, or die in the adventure be my helps.
Read!
He is no viper, yet he feeds on mother's flesh which did me breed. I sought a husband in which labour I found that kindness in a father. He's father, son, and husband mild, I, mother, wife, and yet his child. How they may be, and yet in two, as you will live, resolve it you.
Pericles, touch not upon your life.
Great king! Vice repeated is like the wandering wind, blows dust others' eyes to spread itself, and yet the end of all is brought thus, dear. The breath is gone, and the sore eyes see clear. Fair princess, I care not for you, and you, with foul incest, do abuse your soul, where now you're both a father and a son, by your untimely claspings with your child. Which pleasure fits a husband, not a father, and you, an eater of your mother's flesh. By the defiling of your parents' bed, you both like serpents are, who though they feed on sweetest flowers, yet they poison breed. Farewell!
That found the meaning, for which I mean to have his head. And therefore, instantly, Prince Pericles must die.
Great king!
Talia! You are of our chamber, Talia, and are my imparted her private actions to your secrecy.
Sir,
For your faithfulness, we will advance you. Behold, I'll give you poison. I'll give you gold.
Sir!
We hate Pericles. We hate the Prince of Tyre, and thou must kill him. It fits thee not to ask the reason why, because we bid it. So is it done?
my lord, 'tis done.
Enough!
My lord, to sea! To Tyre, Prince Pericles is fled!
As thou wilt live, fly after, to sea, to Tyre, so thou ne'er return, unless thou say, Prince Pericles is dead.
My lord, if I can get him within my pistol's length, I will make him sure enough. So, farewell, your royal highness.
Talia, adieu. Till Pericles be dead, my heart can lend no succor to my head.
This is Tyre! Oh, and this the court. Here must I kill Prince Pericles, and if I do not, I'm sure to be hanged at home. 'Tis dangerous. Well, now I do perceive he was a wise fellow, and had good discretion, that being bid to ask what he would of the king, desired to know none of his secrets. And now I do see he had some reason for it. For if a king bid a man be a villain, he's bound by the indenture of his oath to be one. Oh, I spy Pericles, the great friend of the prince whose life I seek. I'll hide myself.
Friends, pardon me, or strike me if you please. I cannot be much lower than my knees. Welcome to Tyre. Prince Pericles is not here.
Not here.
Freely will I speak, and Antiochus we fear, and justly too. We fear this tyrant king, because he would, with public war or private treason, would take away the life of our good King Pericles.
'Tis true.
Therefore, good Pericles does travel for a while, till that the anger and rage be forgot, or till the destiny is to cut the bad king's life. The rule of Tyre directs to me. Day serves not like more faithful than I'll be. Tyre he now looks from them, and to Tarsus intends his travel, where he'll hear from me, for by my letters I'll dispose myself. We mingled our bloods together in the earth, from whence we had our being and our birth. He takes my word for faith, asks not mine oath, who shuns not to break one, will sure crack both.
Well, I perceive I shall not be hanged now, although I would, but since he's gone, the king's ears it must please. He staked the land to perish on the seas. I'll present myself. Peace to the Lord of Tyre.
Lord Talia, from Antiochus, is welcome.
From my king I come, with message unto princely Pericles. But since my landing I've understood your prince has betook himself to unknown travels. My message must return from whence it came.
We have no reason to desire your message, as it was sent to Pericles, not us. Yet, ere you shall depart, this we desire, as friends to Antioch. Within feasting time.
Dionysa. 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 My Dionysa. Shall we rest us here, and by relating tales of others' griefs, see if 'twill teach us to forget our own?
Oh, Cleon, my distressed lord, that were to blow at fire in hope to quench it.
This Tarsus, o'er which I, Cleon, have the government, a city on whom plenty held full hand, and for riches strewed herself even in the streets, whose towers bore heads so high they kissed the clouds, and strangers ne'er beheld but wondered at, whose men and dames so jetted and adorned like one another's glass to trim them by. Their tables were stored full to glad the sight, not so much to feed on as delight. All poverty was scorned, and pride so great the name of help grew odious to repeat. But see what the heavens can do. And by this our change, these mouths who but of late earth, sea and air were all too little to delight and please, they now are starved for want of exercise. Those palates, who not yet 2 summers younger must have inventions to content the taste, would now be glad of bread and beg for it. Those mothers who to nuzzle up their babes thought naught too curious are ready now to eat those little darlings whom they love. So sharp are hunger's teeth. Man and wife draw lots who first shall die to lengthen life. Here stands the Lord, there a lady weeping. Here many sink, yet those who see them fall have scarce strength left to give them burial. Oh, let those cities who of plenty's cup and her prosperity so largely taste with their superfluous riots hear these tears, that the misery of Tarsus may be theirs.
Lord Governor, Madam, for so we hear you are. Let not my ships and number of my men be like a beacon fired to amaze your eyes. I have heard your miseries as far as Tyre, and seen the desolation of your streets. Nor come we to add sorrow to your tears, but to relieve them of their heavy load. And these are ships. Are stored with corn to make your needy bread and give them life who hunger starved half dead.
The gods of Greece protect you!
I do not look for reverence, but to love, and harbourage for myself, my ships and men.
Though its rent any shall not gratify, or pay with unthankfulness in thought, be it our wives, our children, ourselves, the curse of heaven and men succeed their evils. Till when the which I hope shall ne'er be seen, your grace is welcome, welcome to our town and us.
Which welcome we'll accept. Feast here a while, till our stars that frown lend us a smile.
Good Helicanus stayed at home,
Not to eat honey like a drone,
but to fulfill his prince's desire, sends word of all that haps in Tyre. How Taliard, that was me, came full bent with sin, and had intent to murder him. Since that in Tarsus was not best longer for him to make his rest, he doing so put forth to seas, where when men be, there's seldom ease. For now the wind begins to blow. Thunder above and deeps below make such unquiet that the ship should house him safe is wrecked and split. And he, good prince, having all lost by waves from coast to coast is tossed. All perishin of man, of pelf, nay, aught escapen but himself, till fortune, tired with doing bad, threw him ashore to give him glad. And here he comes. What shall be next? Pardon, old Gower, this long's the text.
Yet cease your ire, you angry stars of heaven! Wind, rain, and thunder, remember earthly man is but a substance that must yield to you, and I, as fixed my nature, do obey you! Alas, the seas have cast me upon the rocks, wash me from shore to shore, and left me breath, nothing to think of but ensuing death. Let it suffice, the greatness of your powers, to have bereft a prince of all his fortune, and having thrown him from your watery grave, here to have death in peace is all he'll crave.
Whoa! Pericles! Come away, bring the nets! What patch, creature, say?
What say you, master?
Oh, look how thou stirrest now! Come away, or I will fetch thee with a wanion!
Hey, master! I'm thinking of the poor men that were cast away before us, even now.
Alas, poor souls, it grieved my heart to hear the pitiful cries they made to us to help them. And well a day we could scarce help ourselves.
Nay, master, said not I as much when I saw the porpoise? How he bounced and tumbled. They say they're half fish, half flesh. A plague on them! They never come, but I look to be washed. Master, I marvel how the fishes live in the sea.
Why, as men do a land. The great ones eat up the little ones. I can compare our rich misers to nothing so fitly as to a whale. You know, plays and tumbles, driving the poor fry before him, and then at the last devours them all at a mouthful. I've heard of such whales of the land, who ne'er leave gaping till they swallow the whole parish, church, bells, steeple and all.
Pretty moral.
If I had been the sexton, I would have been that day in the belfry. Why, man? Because he should have swallowed me too. And when I had been in his belly, I would have kept such a jangling of the bell that he should never have left, till he caused bells, steeple, church, and parish up again. But if good King Simonides were of my mind,
Simonides?
we would purge the land of these drones that rob the bee of her honey.
How? From the finny subject of the sea, these fishes tell the infirmities of men. And from their watery empire, recollect all that may men approve or men detect. Peace be at your name on this mission!
What is? Good fellow, what's that? If it be a day fits you, search out the calendar and nobody look after it.
May the sea have cast upon your coast.
What a drunken name was the sea to cast thee away?
A man who both the water and the winds in that vast tennis court have made the ball for them to play upon. Entreats you pity him. He asks of you that never used to beg.
No, friend, cannot you beg? Well, here's them in our country, Greece, gets more from begging than we can do in working.
Canst thou catch any fishes then?
I never practiced it.
Nay, then thou wilt starve, sure. For here's nothing to be got nowadays unless thou canst fish for.
What I have been, I have forgot to know what I am. Want teaches me to think on. A man thronged up with cold. My veins are chill, and have no more life than may suffice to give my tongue that heat to ask your help. Which if you shall refuse, when I am dead, for I am a man, pray see me, Pericles.
Die, quother! Oh, God's forbid! Look, have a gown here. Put it on. Come. Keep thee warm. Huh? Oh, now before me, a handsome fella! Come, sir. Thou shalt go home, and we'll have flesh for feast days, and fish for fasting days, moreover puddings and flapjacks, and thou shalt be welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Master, we'll go draw up the net.
Hark ye, sir. Do you know where you are?
Not well.
Marry, I'll tell thee. This is called Pericles. And our king, the good king, Simonides.
The good Simonides, do you call him?
Why, sir? And he deserves to be so called, for his peaceable reign, good government.
He is a happy king, since he gains from his subjects the name of good by his government. How far is his court distant from this shore?
Marry, sir, about half a day's journey. Oh, and I'll tell you, he hath a fair daughter, Thaisa.
Thaisa?
Thaisa. And tomorrow is her birthday. And there are knights and lords come from all parts of the world to joust and tourney for her lord.
Were my fortunes equal to my desires, I could wish to make one.
Master, help! There's a fish hangs in the net like a poor man's right in the law! Could hardly come out! Bossant, 'tis come at last and 'tis turned to a rusty treasure.
Treasure! Friend, let me see it. Oh, thanks, fortune, yet! After all thy crosses, thou givest me somewhat to repair myself. My friends, this was mine own, part of my heritage, which my dead father did bequeath to me with this strict charge, even as he left his life. Keep it, my Pericles. It hath been a shield twixt me and death. It kept where I kept. I so dearly loved it, till the rough seas that spell on any man took it in rage. Though calmed, have given it again. Oh, I thank thee for it. My shipwreck now no ill, since I have here my father's gift in will.
What mean you, sir?
To beg of you, dear friends, this thing of worth. For it was sometime garment to a king. I know it by that mark. He loved me dearly, and for his sake I wish the having of it. And that you guide me to your sovereign's court, where with it I may appear a gentleman. And if ever my low fortune's better, I'll pay your bounties. Till then, rest your debtor.
Why, you'll allow a tourney for the lady?
I'll show the virtue I'm born in arms.
Well, do ye take
Hark thee, my friend. 'Twas we that drew this garment up through the rough seas of the water. There are certain condolements, certain veils. I hope if you'll thrive, sir, you'll remember from whence you had it.
Believed I will. By your furtherance, I will be clothed in love.
Come, sir. We'll bring you to the court, us three.
Then, honour be but a goal to my will. This day, I'll rise, or else I'm ill to ill.
Amore, ti amo con tutto il mio cuore. Baby, amo, come sarà la magica notte.
Teresa!
Papa,
The
amore,
knights are ready to begin the triumph.
ti amo con tutto il mio cuore.
Teresa! We are ready. But let's hide ourselves. 'Tis now your duty, daughter, to explain the labor of each knight and his device.
Which, to preserve my honour,
Now who's the first that doth prefer himself?
a knight of Sparta, and the motto he bears on his shield, Lux tua vita mihi.
Your light is life to me. He loves you well, but holds his life with you.
No.
Who is the second?
A prince of Macedon, and the motto he bears on his shield, Più per dolcezza che per forza.
More by leniency than by force.
No.
What is the third?
The third of Antioch. Me Pompey provexit apex.
The honor of the contest led me on. No. What's the fourth?
Oh, my father, the fourth, he has a burning torch turned upside down. The words, conduit me extinguit. Who feeds me extinguishes me? No. And the fifth, an hand environed with clouds, holding out gold, that by the touchstone tried, his motto thus, sic spectanda fides. Thus is faithfulness to be tested. No.
And what's the sixth? And last.
He seems to be a stranger, but his present is a withered branch that's only green at top. His motto, in hac spe vivo. In this hope, I live.
Opinions, but the fool that makes us scan the outward habit for the inward man. Friends, to say your welcome were superfluous. Prepare for mirth. For mirth becomes a feast. You are princes and my guests.
But first, my knight and guest, to whom this wreath of victory I give, I crown thee king of this day's happiness.
'Tis more by fortune, lady, than by
Sir, sit. Sir, sit.
By Juno, that is queen of marriage. All viands I eat do seem unsavory. Wishing him my meat. Sure, he's a gallant gentleman.
He's but a country gentleman.
To me, he seems like diamond to glass.
Young king to me is like to my father's picture, which tells me in that glory once he was. Had princes sit like stars about his throne, and he the sun for them to reverence. But now, his son's like a glowworm in the night, the which have fire in darkness, none in light. Whereby I see that time's the king of men. He's both their parent and he's their grave, and he gives them what he will, not what they crave.
You make us sit too melancholy, as if the entertainment in our court had not a show might countervail his worth. Not did not you tell you, sir?
What is it to me, my father?
Oh, what hand, my daughter? Here, say we drink a standing bowl of wine to him.
Alas, my father, it befits not me unto a stranger knight to be so bold. He may my proffer take for an offence, seeing as men take women's gifts for impudence.
How? Do as I bid you, or you'll move me else.
Now, by the gods, he cannot please me better!
Well, whatever we desire to know of him, of whence he is, his name and parentage.
I thank both him and you and pledge him freely.
And furthermore, he desires to know of you, of whence you are, your name and parentage.
A gentleman of Tyre. My name, Pericles. My education has been in arts and arms, who looking for adventure in the world was by rough seas reft of ships and men, and by shipwreck driven upon this shore.
He thanks your grace, names himself Pericles, a gentleman of Tyre, who, only by misfortune of the seas, bereft of ships and men, cast on this shore.
Oh, by the gods, I pity his misfortune, and will awake him from his melancholy. Friends!
think of my daughter, sir? A virtuous princess.
She is fair too, is she not?
As a fair day in summer, wondrous fair.
My daughter thinks very well of you, sir. So well that you must be her master, and she will be your scholar. Therefore, look to it.
I am unworthy of her schoolmaster.
Thou hast bewitched my daughter, and thou art a villain.
By the gods, I have not. Never did thought of mine levy offence, nor my action commence a deed might gain her lover your displeasure.
Traitor! Thou liest!
Traitor!
Aye, traitor!
Even in his throat, unless it be the king that calls me traitor, I return the lie.
Now, by the gods, I do applaud his courage.
My actions were as noble as my thoughts, which never relished a base dissent. I came unto your court for honour's cause, and not to be a rebel to her state. And he that otherwise accounts of me, a sight shall prove his own enemy! No! But as you are as virtuous as fair, resolve your angry father. If my tongue dare solicit, or my hand subscribe to any syllable that may love to you.
Why, sir, say it if you had. Who takes offence at that would make me glad.
Mistress, are you so peremptory? I'm glad of it with all my heart. I'll tame you. I'll bring you in subjection. Will you not, having my consent, bestow your love and your affections upon a stranger?
Who, for aught I know, maybe, nor I can think the contrary, as great in blood as I myself.
Therefore, hear you, mistress. I frame your will to mine, and you shall hear you. I will be ruled by me, or I will make you man and wife. Hey, come. Your hands. What are you both pleased?
Yes, if you love me so.
Even as my life, or blood that fosters it.
What are you both agreed?
If it please your majesty.
It pleaseth me so well that I will see you wed. And with what haste you can get thee to bed.
Now, sleepy slackhead hath the rouse, no din but snores about the house, made louder by the o'erfed breast of this most pompous marriage feast. Now the cat, with eyne of burning coal, crouches for the mouse's hole, and crickets sing in the oven's mouth, are the blither for their drouth. Hymen hath brought the bride to bed, where by the loss of maidenhead a babe is moulded. Now, from Tyre are letters brought, the 10 of these, Antiochus and his daughter dead. The men of Tyre on the head of Helicanus would set on the crown of Tyre, but he will not, says to him,
If Prince Pericles come not home in twice 6 moon, I, obedient to their dooms, will take the crown.
And the son of this brought hither to Pentapolis, it ravished all the regions round, and every one with claps can sound.
Our heir apparent is a king! Who dreamed, who thought of such a thing?
Brief. Pericles must hence depart to Tyre. His princess, with child, makes her desire, which who shall cross, along to go. Omit we all their dole and woe. Lycorida, her nurse she takes, and so to sea. But their vessel shakes on Neptune's billow. Half the flood hath their keel cut. But fortune's mood varies again. The grisly north disgorges such a tempest forth that as a duck for life that dives, so up and down the poor ship drives.
I shriek, and well anear, do fall in travail with my fear.
And what ensues in this fell storm shall for itself perform.
Thou God of this great vast, rebuke these surges which wash both heaven and hell. Oh, still thy deafening dreadful thunder gently quench thy nimble sulphurous flashes. Oh, how, Lycorida! How does Thaisa? Thou stormest venomously. Wilt thou spit all thyself? Lycorida! Lucina, convey thy deity aboard our dancing boat. Make swift the pangs of my queen's travail.
Here is a thing too young for such a place, who if it had conceived would die, as I am like to do. Take in your arms this piece of your dead queen. How, Lycorida? Patience, good sir, do not assist the storm. Here's all that is left living of your queen, a little daughter. For her sake, be manly and take comfort. Oh, you gods! Why do you make us love your goodly gifts and snatch them straight away? Patience, good sir, even for this charge.
Now, mild may be thy life, for a more blusterous birth had never babe. Quiet and gentle thy conditions, for thou art the rudeliest welcome to this world that ever was prince's child. Happy, what follows? Ours had as chiding in nativity as fire, air, water, earth, and heaven can make to herald thee from the womb. Now the good gods throw their best eyes upon you.
Sir, your queen must overboard straight. The sea won't high, the wind is loud and will not lie until the ship be cleared of the dead.
That's superstition.
Pardon me, good sir. With them at sea it hath been still observed, and they are strong in custom. Therefore briefly yield her, for she must overboard straight.
As you think meet. Most wretched queen.
Here she lies, sir.
A terrible childbed hast thou had, my Thaisa. No light, no fire. The unfriendly elements forgot thee utterly, nor have I time to give thee hallowed to thy grave. Straight must cast thee, scarcely coughing, in the ooze. For a monument unto thy bones, The belching whale and humming water must overwhelm thy corpse, lying with simple shells. Say, what coast is this?
We are near Tarsus.
Tell them, alter the course for Tyre. When can we reach it?
By break of day, if the wind cease.
Oh, make for Tarsus. There will I visit Cleon. The babe cannot hold out for Tyre. There will I leave her at careful mercy. The sea is high, the winds are loud and will not lie, till the ship be cleared of the dead.
Here I give to understand, if ere this coffin drive aland, I, Prince Pericles, have lost this princess, worth all our mundane cost, who finds her Gifa burying. She was the daughter of a king. If thou livest, Pericles, thou hast a heart that even cracks for woe. This chance most likely, sir, tonight.
Nay, certainly tonight, for see how fresh she looks. They were too rough that threw her in the sea. Rough and woeful music. Madam, this letter, along with some certain jewels, lay with you in your coffer. Know you the character?
It is my lord's. That I was shipped at sea, I well remember. Even on my evening time, but whether there, delivered by holy gods, I cannot rightly say. Since Prince Pericles, my drowned lord, I ne'er shall see again. A vestal livery will I take me to, and never more have joy.
Madam, if this you purpose as you speak, Diana's temple is not distant far, where you may abide till your life expire.
My recompense is thanks, that's all. Yet my goodwill is great, though the gift small.
My gentle babe, Marina, for whom she was born at sea, I have named so. Here I charge your charity withal, leaving her an infant of your care,
Fear not, my lord.
beseeching you to give her princely training, that she may be mannered as she is born.
Your grace, that fed my country with your corn, for which the people's prayers still fall upon you, must in your child be thought on. Like, if neglection should therein make me vile, the common body, by you relieved, would force me to my duty. But if to that my nature need a spur, the gods revenge it upon me and mine till the end of generation.
I believe you. Till she be married, madam, by bright Diana, whom we honour, all unscissored shall this hair of mine remain. Though I show ill in't, so I take my leave. Good madam, make me blessed in your care in bringing up my child.
I have one myself, who will not be more dear to my respect than yours, my lord.
My thanks and prayers. Oh, no tears, Pericles. No tears.
Like a reader, myself and Diana, we'll look to the little mistress. We'll bear you in to the edge of the shore, and then give you up to the mast Neptune and the gentlest winds of heaven. Imagine Pericles arrived at Tyre, welcomed and settled to his own desire, his woeful Thaisa we leave at Ephesus, unto Diana there of votaries. Now, to Marina, bend your mind, whom our fast-growing scene must find at Tarsus, and by Klingon trained in music, letters, who hath gained of education all the grace that makes her both the heart and place of general wonder. But alack, that monster envy, off the rack of earned praise, Marina's life seeks to take off by treason's knife. Cleon's wife, with envy rare, a present murderer does prepare for good Marina, that her daughter might stand peerless by this slaughter. And no sooner her vile thoughts are stead, like a reader our nurse is dead, and cursed Dionysa hath the pregnant instrument of wrath pressed for this blow. The unborn event I do commend to your content. Dionysa does appear with Leonine, a murderer.
Thy oath, remember, thou hast sworn to do it. 'Tis but a blow, which never shall be known. Thou canst not do a thing in the world so soon to yield me so much profit.
I warrant you now.
Let not conscience, which is but cold, inflaming love in the bosom, inflame too nicely, nor let pity, which the women have cast off, melt thee, but be a soldier to thy purpose.
I will do it.
Yet she's a goodly creature. The fitter then. The gods should have her. Thou art resolved.
I am resolved.
No, I will rob Tennis of her weed and strew thy green with flowers, yellows, blues, the purple violets and marigolds shall as a carpet hang upon thy grave, while summer days do love. I, me, poor maid, born in a tempest when my mother died. This world to me is like a lasting storm, whirring me from my friends.
How now, Marina? Why do you keep alone? How chance my daughter is not with you? Do not consume your blood with sorrowing. You have a nurse of me. Come, give me your flowers, ever see mar it. Walk with Leonine. The air is quick there, and it pierces and sharpens the stomach. Come, Leonine, take her by the arm, walk with her.
No, I pray you. I will not bereave you of your servant.
Go, I pray you. Walk, and be cheerful once again. Preserve that excellent complexion which did steal the hearts of young and old. Care not for me. I can go home alone.
Well, I will go. But yet, I have no desire to it.
For half an hour, Leonine, at least. Walk softly, do not warm thy blood. What? I must have a care of you.
My thanks, sweet madam. kill me?
To satisfy my mistress.
Why would she have me killed? Now, as I remember by my shop, I never did her hurt in all my life. I never spake bad word, nor did ill turn to any living creature. Believe me, la! I never killed a mouse, nor hurt a fly. I trod upon a worm against my will, but I wept for it. How have I offended? Wherein my death might yield her any profit, or my life imply her any danger.
Your mission is not to reason of the deed, but to do it.
You will not do it for all the world, I hope. You are well favored. Your looks for show. You have a gentle heart. I saw you lately, when you caught hurt in parting to the fort. Good sooth, it showed well in you. Do so now. Your lady seeks my life. Come you between and save poor me, the weaker.
I am sworn and will disband.
Virginity.
बोल ऐसे नहीं क्या भाव तो काफी महंगा हो रहा बहुत पैसे मिलेंगे क्या इसकी virginity
Oh, she speaks well. She's got excellent good clothes. Oh, thanks. There's no further necessity of qualities to make up and refuse.
बोल भाव कितना है इसका पैसा कितना लगेगा
I can't be baked one doy off 1,000 pieces. The poor Transylvanian's dead, but lay with the little baggage. Aye, she quickly pooped him. She made him roast meat for worms. Therefore, let's have this fresh one. Whatever they pay for her.
The gods defend me!
रोके रही तू चिकनी लड़की
Why lament you, frizzy one?
That I am chickeny!
Oh, come. The gods have done their part in you.
I accuse them not.
You are like light into my hands where you are like to live
The more my fault to save their hands where I was like to die.
Live in pleasure.
No!
Yes. Boy, anda. Do you stop your ears?
Are you a woman?
What would you have me be if not a woman?
An honest woman or not a woman?
¡Cállate, Ancita! Ya me tienes harto, si te vamos a lo que queramos una ramita, te vamos a romper.
The gods defend me!
If it pleases the Lord to defend you, then he must defend you by men. Men might feed you. They must stir you up. Pero en adelante tienes que ser responsable de todo y tienes que pretender que no querer hacer lo que sí querés, porque eso es lo que es el interés. Dinero. Eso es lo que estamos buscando, ¿verdad? Un poco de dinero, nada más.
I understand you not! If fires be hot, knives sharp, or waters deep, untied still my virgin knot will keep. Diana, aid my purpose!
Why? Are you foolish? Can it be undone?
Dionysa, of such a piece of slaughter, the sun and moon there looked upon.
Her child again.
Were I chief governor over all this spacious world, I would give it to undo the deed. Oh, lady, much less in blood than virtue, and yet a princess to rival any single crown in the earth in the justice of compare. Oh, villain Leonine, whom thou hast poisoned too. Hadst thou drunk to him, t'had been a kindness, becoming well thy fact. What canst thou say to noble Pericles when he shall demand his child?
That she is dead. Mercies are not the fates to foster it, nor ever to preserve. She died at night. I'll say so. Who can cross it? Unless you play a pious innocent and for an honest attribute cry out, she died by foul play.
Don't you? Well. Oh, the faults beneath the heavens, the gods do like this worse.
Be one of those that think the petty wrens of Tarsus will fly hence and open this to Pericles. Are you ashamed to think of what a noble strain you are, and of how powerless spirit
To such proceeding, whoever but his approbation, though not his prime consent, he did not flow from honourable sources.
Be it so then! Yet none does know but you how she came dead, nor none can know, Leonine being gone. She did disdain my child, and stood between her and her fortunes. None would look on her, but cast their gazes on Marina's face, whilst ours was blurted at and held a mouth in, not worth the time of day. It pierced me through. And though you find my course unnatural, you not your child well loving, yet I find it greets me as an enterprise of kindness, performed to your sole daughter.
The heavens forgive it.
And as for Pericles, what should he say? We wept after her hearse, and yet we mourn. Her monument is almost finished, and her epitaphs in glittering golden characters express a general praise to her and care in us, at whose expense 'tis done.
Thou art like the harpy, which to betray dost with thine angel's face, seize with thine eagle's talons.
You are like one that superstitiously swears to the gods that winter doth kill the flies. But yet I know you'll do as I advise.
Thus time we waste. The longest leagues make short. Sail seas in cockles, haven't wished but for. Making to take your imagination from bourne to bourne, region to region. By you being pardoned, we commit no crime to use one language, or two, or three, in each several clime where our scenes do seem to live. I do beseech you to learn from me, who stands in the gaps to teach you the stages of our story. Pericles is now again thwarting the wayward seas, attended on by many a lord and knight, to see his daughter, all his life's delight, to fetch his daughter home. But please you wit, this epitaph is for Marina writ by wicked Dionysa.
The fairest, sweetest, and best lies here, who withered in her spring of year. She was of Tyre, Pericles' daughter, on whom foul death hath made this slaughter. Marina was she called, and at her birth, Thetis, being proud, swallowed some part of the earth. Therefore the earth, fearing to be overflowed, hath Thetis' birth child on the heavens bestowed. Wherefore she does and swears she'll never stint, make raging battery upon shores of flint.
And Pericles, in sorrow all devoured, with sighs shot through, and biggest tears are showered, leaves Tarsus, and again embarks. He swears never to wash his face, nor cut his hairs. He puts on sackcloth, and so to sea. He bears a tempest which his mortal vessel tears, and yet he rides it out. No visor doth become black villainy, so well as soft and tender flattery. Let Pericles believe his daughter's dead, and bear his courses to be ordered by Lady Fortune, while our scene must play his daughter's woe, and heavy well-a-day in her unholy service. Our patience then, and think you now are all in Italy.
Mitellini!
Sing!
They will do anything now that is virtuous. They're out of the road of rotting forever. Fire from her! She is able to freeze the god Pericles and undo a whole generation. We must either get her ravished or be rid of her.
Fight! I must ravish her! Oh, here comes the Lord Lysimachus, disguised.
How now? How a dozen of virginities?
We have here one, sir. There never came her like in Mitellini.
If she'd do the deed of darkness, thou would say.
Your honour knows what 'tis to say well enough.
Well, call forth. Call forth.
Hey! Here comes that which grows to the stalk, never plucked yet, I can assure you. She's a fair creature.
Faith. She would serve after a long voyage at sea. Well, there's for thee. Leave us.
I beseech your honor, give me leave. A word and I'll have done presently.
I beseech you, do.
First, let me have you note this is an honorable man. Next, he is the governor of this country, Mitellini, and a man whom I am bound to pray you without any more virginal fancy. Will you use him kindly? He will line your apron with gold.
What he will do graciously, I will thankfully receive.
Are you done?
My lord, she is not apace yet. You must take some pains to work her to your marriage.
Now, pretty one, how long have you been in this trade?
What trade, sir?
I cannot name it, but I will offend.
I cannot be offended by my trade. Please you to name it.
How long have you been on this profession?
Since I can remember.
Did you go to it so young? Were you a gamester at 5 or at 7?
Earlier too, sir, if now I be one.
Why, the house you dwell in proclaims you to be a creature of sail.
Do you know this house will be a place of such resort and will come into it? I hear say you are of honourable parts and are the governor of this place?
Why, have your principal made known unto you who I am?
Who is my principal?
Why, you're her woman. She that sets seeds and roots of shame and iniquity. Oh, you have heard something of my power, and so stand aloof to more serious ruin. But I confess, pretty one, my authority will not see you, or else look friendly upon you. Come, bring me to some private place. Come, come.
If born to honor, show it now. If put upon you, make the judgment good that thought you worthy of it.
How's this? How's this? Some more. Be sage.
For me, that am a maid, though most ungentle fortune hath placed me in this sty, where since I came diseases have been so dearer than physic. Oh, that the gods would set me free from this unhallowed place, though they would change me into the meanest bird that flies in the pure air.
I did not think thou couldst have spoke so well. Ne'er dreamed thou couldst. Had I brought hither a corrupted mind, thy speech hath altered it. Hold, here's gold for thee. Persever in that clear way thou goest, and the gods strengthen you.
The good gods preserve
For me, be important I came with no ill intent. For to me, even the doors and windows savour vilely. Fare thee well. Thou art a piece of virtue, and I doubt not but that thy training hath been noble. Hold, take the gold. A curse upon him, die he like a thief that robs thee of thy goodness. If thou dost take from me, it shall be for thy guilt.
For one piece for me.
Of what? Thou damned doorkeeper, your house, but for this virgin that doth prop it, would sink and overwhelm you. Farewell.
We must take another course with you. If your peevish chastity, which isn't worth a breakfast in the poorest country under the coat, shall undo a whole household, well, let me be gelded like a spaniel. Come your ways.
Hither will you have me?
I must have your maidenhood taken off, or else the common hangman will execute it. Come your ways. We will have no more gentlemen driven away. Come your ways, I say.
Hark,
I will take from you that jewel you hold so dear. Come your ways.
Pretty, tell me one thing first.
Well, come in. Your one thing.
Who do you see your enemy to be?
Why? I could wish you to be my mistress and her mistress.
Neither are so bad as thou art, since they do better thee in their command. Thou holdst a place for which the Payne's fiend of hell would not in reputation change. Thou art the damned doorkeeper to every costrel that comes inquiring for his tin, to the choleric fisting of every rogue. Thine ear is liable, thy food is such that it hath been belched on by infected lungs.
Why, what would you have me do? Or go to the wars, would ya? Where a man may serve 7 years for the loss of a leg, and have not money enough at the end to buy him a wooden one.
Do anything but this, frequent this house.
Well, I'll see what I can do for them. If I can place thee, I will.
But amongst honest women.
Faith, my acquaintance lies little among them. And since my mistress and her mistress have caught you, there's no going but by their consent. Therefore, I will make them acquainted with your purpose. I doubt not that I shall find them tractable enough. Come, I'll do for thee what I can. Come your ways. Marina, thus the brothel scapes and chances into an honest house, our story says. She sings like one immortal, and she dances like a goddess. Here we her place, and to her father turn our thoughts again, where we left him, on the seas. We there him lost, whence, driven before the winds, he is arrived here, where his daughter dwells, and on this coast suppose him now at anchor. Lysimachus our Tyrian ship espies, and to him within his barge with fervour hies. In your supposing, once more put your sight of heavy Pericles. I think this his bark, where what is done in reason more, if might shall be discovered. Please you sit and hark.
Hail, reverend sir. The gods preserve you.
And you, sir, to outlive the age I am, and to die as I, Helicanus, would do.
You wish us well. I am the governor of this place you like before. Being on shore, honouring of Neptune's triumphs, seeing this goodly vessel right before us, we made to it, to know whence you are.
Sir, our vessel is of Tyre. In it the king, a man who for this 3 months had not spoken, nor taken any sustenance, but to prorogue his grief.
Upon what ground is his distemperature?
'Twould be too tedious to repeat. But the main grief springs from the loss of a beloved daughter and a wife.
May I not see him?
You may. But bootless is your sight, he will not speak to any.
Then let me obtain my wish.
Behold him. This was a goodly person, till that the disaster one mortal night drove him to this.
Sir King, all hail. Gods preserve you. Hail, royal sir.
It is in vain he will not speak to you.
There is a maid of Mytilene would win some words of him. She, questionless with her sweet harmony, would make a battery through his deafened parts, which are now midway stopped. Sir, shall I fetch her hither?
Sure. All effectless, yet nothing will omit that bears recovery's name.
Sir, this is the maid. If that your prosperous and artificial feet can draw him but to answer thee in aught, thy sacred physic will receive such pain as thy desires can wish.
Good sirs, I will use my utmost skill in his recovery, provided that none but I be suffered to come near him.
Come, let us leave her. The gods make her prosperous.
my lord, that ne'er before invited eyes, but hath been gazed on like a comet. She speaks, my lord, that maybe hath endured a grief, might equal yours if both were justly weighed. Though wayward fortune doth belie my state, my derivation was from ancestors who stood equivalent to mighty kings. But time hath rooted out my parentage, and to the world and awkward casualties bound me in servitude. I will desist. Something glows upon my cheek and whispers in my ear, "Go, not till he speak."
My fortunes. Parentage. Good parentage to equal mine. Was it not thus? What say you?
I said, my lord, if you did know my parentage, you would not do me violence.
I do think so. Pray you, turn your eyes upon me. You're like something. What country, woman? Here of these shores?
No, nor of any shores. Yet I am mortally brought forth, and am no other than I appear.
I am great with woe, and shall deliver weeping. My dearest wife was like you are, and such a one my daughter might have been. My queen's square brows, her stature to an inch, as wand-like straight, as silver-voiced, your eyes, as jewel-like and cased as richly. Where do you live?
Where I am but a stranger, from the deck. Well, you may discern the place.
Where were you bred? And how achieved you these endowments which you make more rich to own?
If I should tell my history, it would seem like lies sustained in the reporting.
Prithee, speak. Falseness cannot come from thee. For thou look'st modest as justice, and thou seem'st a palace for the crowned truth to dwell in. I will believe thee, for thou look'st like one I love indeed. What were thy friends? Didst thou not say when I did push thee back, which was when I perceived thee, that thou camest from good descending?
Indeed I did.
Report thy parentage. I think thou saidst thou had been tossed from wrong to injury, and that thou thoughtest thy griefs might equal mine, if both were open.
Some such thing, I said, and said only what my thoughts did warrant me was likely.
Tell thy story. If thine considered prove the 1,000th part of my endurance, thou art a man, and I have suffered like a goat. Yet thou dost look like patience, gazing on kings' graves and smiling extremity out of act. What were thy friends? How lost thou then thy name? Most kind virgin, recount, I do beseech thee. Come, sit by me.
My name is Marina.
Oh, I am mocked. And thou, thy son incensed God, sent hither to make the world to laugh at me.
Patience, good sir, or here I'll see.
Nay, I'll be patient. Little knowest how thou dost startle me to call thyself Marina.
The name was given me by one who had some power, my father, and a prince.
How? devotion. Well, speak on. Where were you born, and wherefore called Marina?
Called Marina, for I was born at sea.
At sea? What mother?
My mother was the daughter of a king, who died the minute I was born, as my good nurse Lycorida had oft delivered weeping. The prince, my father, did toss and sleep me, till cruel Cleon and his wicked wife did seek to murder me, and having wooed a villain to accept it, who having drawn to do it, pirates came and rescued me, brought me to Italy, but good sir, whither would you have me? Why do you weep? It may be you think me an impostor. No, good faith. I am the daughter to Prince Pericles. If Prince Pericles be,
Oh! Helicanus!
What, my lord?
Tell me, if thou canst, what this maid is, or what is like to be that thus have made me weep.
I know not, sir, but his regent of Mytilene speaks nobly of her.
She would never tell her parentage, but being demanded that, she would sit still and
Oh, Helicanus, down on my knees. Thank the holy gods, as loud as thunder threatens us. This is Marina. What was thy mother's name?
first, sir, I pray, what is your title?
I am Pericles of Tyre. But tell me now my drowned queen's name.
My mother's name was Thaisa. Thaisa was my mother who died the minute I was born.
I know, Helicanus. She's not dead. At Tarsus says she should have been by savage Cleon. She shall tell thee all when thou shalt kneel and justify in knowledge. This is thy very princess. Who's this?
Sir, is the governor of Mytilene, who hearing your melancholy did come to see you.
I will embrace you. I am wild in my beholding. Heavens bless my girl. But what music? Tell Helicanus, my Marina, tell him, oh, point by point, for yet he seems to doubt how sure you are, my daughter. But what music?
My lord, I hear none.
No. Music of the spheres. List, my Marina. Rarest sounds. Do you not hear?
my lord, I hear.
My lord, I hear.
Most heavenly music! It knits me on to listening, and fake slumber hangs upon my eyes.
A pillow for our heads.
Pericles, Diana visits. My temple stands in Ephesus. Hie thee hither and do upon mine altar sacrifice. Reveal how thou at sea did lose thy wife. To mourn thy crosses with thy daughters call, and with that repetition bring them to life. Perform my bidding, or thou livest in woe. Do it, and be happy by my silver bow. Awake, and tell thy dream.
Celestial Diana, Goddess Argentine, I will obey thee. Helicanus,
My lord.
my purpose was for Tarsus there to strike the inhospitable Cleon. But I am for another service first. Towards Ephesus, turn our bow sails. Soon! Oh, tell me why.
My lord, with all my heart, and when you come ashore, I have another seat.
Were it to woo my daughter, you shall prevail! Hail, Diane, to perform thy just command, I hereby confess myself the Prince of Tyre, who frightened from my country did wed at Pentapolis the fair Thaisa. At sea, in childbed died she, but brought forth a maid child called Marina. She at Tarsus was nursed with Cleon, who at 14 years he sought to murder. But her better stars brought her here to Mitylene, against whose shores riding, fortune brought her aboard to us, where by her own most clear remembrance she made herself known, my daughter.
Voice and favor. You are, oh, royal Pericles.
What means this lady? She dies. Help, sir.
Noble sir, if you have told Diana's temple truth, this is your wife.
Reverend Hera, no. I threw her overboard with these very arms.
Upon this coast I warrant you.
'Tis most certain.
Look to the lady. Oh, she's overjoyed. Early in the blustering morning, she was cast upon the ship. I opened the shroud, recovered some rich jewels, and placed her here in Diana's temple.
Oh, let me look. Are you not Pericles? Like him you spake, like him you are. Did you not make a tempest, birth and death?
The voice of dead Thaisa.
That Thaisa am I, supposed dead and drowned.
Oh, come. Be buried a second time within these arms.
On your patience evermore attending, new joy wait on you. Here our play has ended.